Evening. I'm going to wait for a few people to come on right in, and I did not even set up my windows today, so I'm going to do that as people are coming in. So as per usual, if you're catching this after, fast forward about 5 minutes and you should catch us at a good time. Okay. Lots of craziness, guys? I don't even know where to start. There's been so much. I'll just bring it all up as we go. Hey, Gary. MTM, how's it going? Trish, Heather, how are you guys doing? What do you guys want to talk about tonight? There's so much insanity. Like, where do we even start? Is there even a starting point? I don't even know. I was just recording a video. I just was in the middle of editing that video, and I can't put it on here, but I will put it on BitChute, and it's explaining the whole trucker convoy. So hopefully you guys can catch that video as well. But that's why I'm late today, because I was editing a video, and I was editing, and I was like, oh man, now I see how much I talk. I had to edit so many like words out. It was insane. I talk too much. So thank goodness for editing, but I feel bad for you guys on the live stream because now you're stuck with me. Okay, Faye. Hi, Faye. Hey, Rage. Trish, I already saw you. Ragmim, I guess. Ragmim. Silver Fox. Hello. Anna. How are you, Anna? Oh, goodness. Okay. So I was going to start with Quebec, but I'm thinking we should keep that for when more people are coming in. So maybe we'll start with Alberta. I don't know if you saw this article. Let me pop it up here on the screen. Hey, old white guy, how are you? We're going to talk about Alberta. It was inadvertently published stats. Oh, Alberta. Alberta Health Services. What are you guys doing? Published health data. Okay, I'm going to bring that up on the screen, guys. Just give me one quick second. Oh, hello, Christian and Mélanie. Okay, here's the article I'm going to show you guys. I won't swear tonight, Christian. I'll try. Until we get to Quebec, then all bets are off, okay? All bets are off. I might swear. I think I saw Crit in there. Yes, you are there. Hi, Crit. Okay, I forgot what I was doing. See, I got distracted by Crit here. Crit. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I miss you, All right, I'm going to share audio for now. I hope there's let me just make sure there's no pop-ups that are spewing some weird infomercials in your ears. Okay. So Health Canada inadvertently published and quickly deleted health data exposing that more than half the injected deaths have been counted as unvaccinated. So there's been a lot of data manipulation, and a lot of the governments have either admitted it or have been caught doing it. So this is just yet another example. This whole thing is collapsing, guys, but this is why they're getting more tyrannical measures on us. But another bombshell revelation that government of Alberta exposed itself when it accidentally published damning evidence that exposes how the public health authorities have been manipulating the COVID-19 statistics. So 2 weeks ago, you guys remember we had Ontario that admitted, and they're like, maybe we should just track this differently. Now we have Alberta, and I just can't wait for Quebec. Can you guys see this coming when Quebec is going to be exposed for all of their stuff? It's going to be quite the event, because I think they have a lot to hide. So after they realized what they'd done, Alberta quickly scrambled to delete it. But the problem is there's a lot of people looking at what they're doing. So yeah, this guy here, Metatron, he caught it. So there's the data here. He put it, and then he showed after. So this was the data published by the Alberta Health Services. And it shows exactly that. It shows that half the jabbed have been counted as unjabbed. And just similar to in Ontario, where we saw that people who were admitted with COVID, but they were going in for a broken arm, and they happened to be tested there because it was mandatory testing, and turns out they had COVID, then they were counted as a COVID admission. And Ontario came out and said, hey, wait a second, maybe we should just really count the people who actually show up with COVID as a COVID admission. Well, bro, like, I have no words. Like, honestly, if I'm in the private sector, if I did this in my job, I would have been fired months ago. There is no putting up with any of this. I mean, I'm not saying there's no corruption in the private sector. Trust me, there is. But no, we can't really get away with this kind of stuff in the private sector. It seems to be only governments that can get away with this, which is why they're so corrupt, and which is why we got to get them out of our lives. The more out they can be and just manage some highways and manage the army and try not to get us into a war, that's pretty much what we need the government for. Everything else we should be able to handle ourselves. Anyways, so yeah, these stats were there, and now they're not. It's like magic. I wish I could make my mistakes disappear like that. So the Alberta admitted to following the fraudulent, they admitted to fraud that was in use by vaccine manufacturers during the clinical trials. So let's just go after this again. The Alberta government admitted to following the fraudulent standard that was in use by vaccine manufacturers during the clinical trials. So there's a lot of different ways they're manipulating this data. So when they say the vaccinated deaths here being counted as unvaccinated, it's because they had during the trials, the Pfizer trials, they had, if somebody got an issue or a problem, 14 days after the vax, then it didn't count. They didn't count as vaccination. So if you were admitted or you had a symptom or something like that, but the 14 days hadn't completely passed, you were considered to be unvaccinated. And it's the same strategy they've been using in the hospitals to scare all of us. So, and it followed each jab. So jab 1, that had that 14-day period, and then jab 2, you have that other 14-day period. And this is how, if a lot of injuries happen soon after, this is how they were able to manipulate the jab injuries as well, saying, well, they weren't, if you're not vaccinated, how can you be vaccine injured, right? That's kind of how they portrayed it. But because they considered you to be unvaccinated if you had the jab and it hadn't been 14 days that passed. So that's how because Stalin did this stuff. We've covered this so many times in the streams, how Stalin and Fidel Castro down in Cuba and China and the guy in North Korea, they all do this. They all manipulate statistics. They make it up. They delete it. They fake it. They inflate it. Like whatever they need to do, whatever the agenda, they do this kind of stuff. So this is what's been happening. So there you go, Alberta. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, whoops, sorry, Christian. I'm not even at Quebec yet, and I'm already losing it. I'm trying to be calm for this stream because it was a very awful week, really. But anyways. A Liberal MP, so this was, I don't even know which one. Let's check it out, CBC News. I told you guys I didn't have time to line up all of my articles because I was editing another video today. So I'm just pulling up the articles as you guys are in here. Holy cow, a lot of people in there. Hi, guys. I've missed saying hello to a lot of you guys. Oh my gosh, I know I'll miss a bunch of you. I'm so sorry. You know what, guys? If I don't say hi to you during the stream, please forgive me. I try to say hi to everybody, but I miss some people sometimes. And I feel really bad after. And then my husband's like, you didn't say hi. That last time I didn't say hi to Faye. You didn't say hi to Faye. So I'm trying. It's a little hard because of all of the fats. And I'm like, my brain's all over the place. It's awful. Living in my head, sometimes not so fun. Anyways, Frank Mack, hello. Vernon, you're in here. JN, Sam M, AWOL. Oh, hi, AWOL. KV Hups. So many people. Okay, let's get to the CBC article. I'm going to show you this one. It's, I don't know. Do you guys know which Liberal MP it was that backed the vax? The tax on the non-vaccinated. He's backing that. I don't know who that is. but we're going to look it up together. We're going to get educated. We're gonna get educated in who our tyrants are in Canada here, boys. Anti-vax tax. There we go. Okay. Let me see if this is the right article. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's expose another one of our tyrants in our midst here. So Liberal MP backs anti-vax tax proposals as COVID cases surge. So we already have a tax on tobacco. We also have taxes on alcohol. Oh, yeah, this guy. I think he is in one of the prairies, I think. Marcus Pavlovsky. Wouldn't it be ironic? I don't know where this guy comes from. I don't care. Maybe not comes from, but originally where he's from, because Pavlovsky is clearly some kind of a Polish name. It's got to be a Polish descent name. So yeah, maybe he was born in Canada. His grandma was born in Canada, but initially somebody came over here with that name. And I'm wondering if whoever came over with that name fled Poland from Poland has had such a bad ride with all of these tyrannical measures. They've had the Soviets, the Nazis, and then the Soviets again. And they've had it. They've just had it with tyranny. So I would be interested to know if any of his ancestors actually fled the tyranny that he's endorsing here in Canada. So a Liberal MP who works as a medical doctor says he's in favor of making the unvaccinated Canadians pay some kind of a special tax. And he believes others in his party agree. So they're justifying it by saying we have taxes on tobacco, taxes on alcohol, which are for similar reasons, because people who consume these products are more likely to end up in the hospital. Now, see, I thought the taxes on tobacco and alcohol was because people bought a lot of it and the government can get rich off of them. That's why they're like, whatever. What is this guy smoking? Does he really believe that? Does he really believe the tax goes to the medical centers and the hospitals and where are the centers those guys go to detox there? Like, no, it's not. That's not what the taxes are for. The taxes just enrich the gouvernement. Okay, so he's saying here that in a panel discussion with fellow MPs that aired on Saturday, I guess. As a result, we're all going to have to pay for their hospitalization. First of all, we all pay income tax anyways, right? And then we pay tax on services and goods. So we're already paying for the hospitalization, right? Anyways, Quebec Premier François Legault floated the idea of imposing a substantial tax on the unvaxxed. And new, of course, here's the fear-mongering, the mandatory fear-mongering. Make sure you stay scared, boys. New federal modeling released Friday warned that the Omicron. Oh shit, I've been saying Omicron this whole time. See, I should go back to calling it the moronic because that's way easier. Anyways, the moronic variant could lead to record levels of hospitalizations in the weeks ahead. So, of course, everything is based on their modeling. So they're proposing a draconian tax on the unjabbed over a modeling that, by the way, in the past was wrong. They've done, I think, 3 waves of modeling. Every single time it was wrong. So good luck with that one, guys. It's not going to go very well. The tax proposal is controversial. No, really? What's CBC, man. No, really? Oh, thanks, CBC. Like, I'm so glad my tax dollars are going to pay your salaries. Opponents warn it could run afoul of the Canadian Health Act. Oh, by the way, I pay for the CBC here, but I don't agree with them. I think they're dangerous. Can I get a tax refund on the taxes that I've paid towards the CBC? Like, if we don't want to pay for that, right? No, but you're going to get additional taxes because you want to be free. You want to have your body belong to you. How dare you? Your body belongs to the government. I don't know if you knew, but that's what's happening here. So Legault's idea has its supporters, of course. In every country, every place on earth, there's always been fascists and evil people who will take advantage of this, and people who are just kind of like losers in life and end up having a little bit of power in these scenarios, and then they end up abusing it. So this is what's happening here. Alberta resident Karina Hepner's young son Rossi was born with a rare neuroma that severely curved his spine. Excuse me, CBC, what the hell? What is this having to do with anything? Surgery that would allow him to use his arm for the first time was scheduled for November and then canceled because of the system constraint brought on by the pandemic. Look, it wasn't. Oh, see, I'm trying to not. I won't get angry. Peaceful stream. Let's go. It is not the pandemic that brought constraints on the system. It is the government that has shut down everything. The government that has put the fear of everybody into everybody, so much so that they have a small sniffle and they show up at the hospital like, test me for COVID. Oh my God, I'm going to die. That's kind of what's been the problem here. Oh, and should we mention the fact that perhaps maybe letting go of your nurses at the height of a pandemic because you fired them because they weren't jabbed, maybe that could have played into this, maybe, but that's not the pandemic. That's direct government action. This is the government doing this to its own people. So trying to come in and blame the surgery, the postponed surgery of a boy on basically on the unvaxxed, this is essentially what they're saying, is outrageous. So it hasn't been rescheduled. Yeah. And I feel, look at how cute this kid is. I mean, I have to say, the poor kid, he's just a pawn in this whole game. He's super cute. And I really do wish him well. But to blame the pandemic, when we saw last week's stream, we saw all of those mobile hospitals sitting in storage because they fired too many nurses to be able to operate them. So it's not, the problem is not the hospital or the infrastructure. It was direct government intervention. Okay, you're preparing your child, blah, blah. She goes, the mom here goes through all the, ups and downs of getting a child ready for the surgery. And all of it is torn apart because of the darn unvaxxed. So he says, those who are still refusing to get a vaccine to understand their decision has the potential to affect many others. So again, they're trying to make a relationship between this young boy's predicament and the unvaccinated, but there is no relationship between the two. It has nothing to do with it. You could have the same argument saying, look, there are too many car crashes and it's bogging up the hospital system, so we should ban cars. No more cars, guys. By the way, that's going to come in the climate change. But it would be the equivalent of saying that, like, it's not because of cars. We have a population. The population gets into accidents, they get sick, and they need treatment. And then we have hospitals to absorb that. And it is not the job of everybody to make sure that they ensure that everything they do is for the benefit of everybody else, or else you wouldn't have, those extreme sports guys. Would you say that to them? Would you say, look, extreme sports, you're clogging up our medical system when you get injured doing some stupid stunt that you didn't need to do. So that's banned, or you're going to pay a higher tax. None of this makes sense. It doesn't make sense. You could be unvaccinated and never go into the hospital. So there is no direct correlation to the unvaccination status and other people needing hospital services. You could need hospital services at any point, or you could not. Who knows? Okay, so anyways, they're using this story, this poor child as a pawn. The mom has been dragged into this, and now she's in an article pinning citizens against citizens. I don't know if she realizes this, but people are being taxed for not getting vaccinated. It is a really good idea. Smokers get taxed. It's not a new idea. I think that at this point, we have to do whatever we can to get through to some people. So let's go over this again, because clearly these people don't get it. Smokers get taxed. Let's assume, I know they get taxed, but it's because the smoker actually smokes the cigarette, right? The drinker who gets taxed on his alcohol, he actually drinks the alcohol. Whereas the person who is unvaccinated doesn't necessarily even get COVID. And sometimes they get COVID and they don't even go anywhere. They just stay at home because it's so mild, especially the moronic version. So freaking mild. People need to get tested. They know they have it. So you can't do a tax on the unvaccinated simply because they may potentially need to go be hospitalized for COVID. This is not working in reality. This is working in abusive government procedures. This is an abuse. The government is abusing you. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I can't think. This is, you look at this. Is this the Pavlovsky guy? It must be. Yeah. So Thunder Bay, he's here in Ontario. And is that Thunder Bay, Rainy River. So the two districts there. This is the face. This, you guys want to know what this guy, I don't want to say he's evil. He's either evil or uninformed, but dangerously uninformed because he's an MP. So this, you're looking at the face. When you think about the past people who brought tyranny in their countries, you think about what they look like. This is the face of one of them. This is what they look like. They don't look all evil, and this is what they look like. Normal guys, normal smile. Look at me. My shirt's unbuttoned. 2 buttons down means I'm super chill. This is evil, guys. This is evil or blatantly dangerous to us because he is bringing about very dangerous measures. So anyways, okay. Enough of this guy. What else do I have? We're getting to Quebec, guys. We're getting there slowly. I had here, oh yes, I'm gonna try to bring up Trudeau's Facebook page. I know I do this a lot. I can't help it, guys. I just look. It's entertainment for me to look this up. I'm not going to go through the whole thing like last time, where we actually looked at the Trudeau, the responses to his posts, but I just wanted to show you something, how desperate this is starting to look. Like, it's really looking bad. And I don't know if I can even find his page right now. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so first of all, there's the biggest gaslighting. Okay, I'm going to do 2 things on Trudeau. Faye, bear with me. I know this is painful. Trudeau, of all people, in his Facebook page, is lecturing us on mental health. The gaslighting, level 100 gaslighting unlocked, because he has been removing jobs, coercing people, forcing people to take their vaccine or lose their job, pushing people into massive amounts of depression, watching people split their families apart over this vaccine thing. And then he comes up to us and he's like, well, mental health is important, guys. You got to take care of it. Anyways, since when is the government responsible? Like, you see the overreach, like there's so many things wrong with this, but even just the overreach in itself. Why is the government talking about mental health? Like, get out of my life. Can I please not have you at every single aspect of my being? Just insane. Okay. Oh, Derek's comment there. Okay, but I wanted to show you this. Where is this one that he did? Oh, I can't stand his face. Hold on. Here, this is the one. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's quite small on the screen. But here, get vaccinated and get boosted. It's time. I'm surprised this wasn't all caps. This should have been all caps. Whoever's running his social media thing needs to be fired at this point. It's not Trudeau, it's obvious, but I mean, clearly this is along the lines that these are the guidelines they've been given. But it's absolutely insane that a prime minister says this in Facebook. He can't stop. He just cannot stop. He's addicted to this tyrannical and power and all of this. He's just addicted at this point. He can't stop himself. He has the same thing in French here. So, oh goodness. So, okay, that was it. That was it for Trudeau. I'm done. Let's get out of there. Okay. There was this another sad story out of Manitoba now. Oh, this one is really sad. I don't like this one. I will show you. It is a family that was found frozen. Now, I think they were trying to leave Canada. So, arrested after 4 people, including baby. Okay, that should bring it up. Okay, so yeah. This one really makes me so sad for so many reasons. But they talk about somebody being charged for human trafficking, but the bodies of a man, a woman, and a baby were found together in one area, and the body of a teen boy was found a few meters away. They are believed to have died from exposure to the freezing weather while attempting to walk across the border, and check this out, guys, from Canada to the US. So now I don't know these people. I don't know their motivation. I doubt the CBC is going to tell us that they're fleeing the tyranny in Canada. But the fact that we have people leaving Canada, like leaving Canada as refugees, crossing illegally the border, that's what a refugee does, right? You try to cross illegally at some point, or you try to cross legally if there's time. But now I don't know. Do you guys know anything more about this? Have you seen this? I can't believe that in my lifetime, I see people fleeing Canada, legit fleeing Canada. And I know that there is in Mexico, so a lot of Canadians have been leaving to go live in Mexico. And there's an entire section of Mexico that has Canadians now. They're all going to the same place, and they have their own schools now, and they've set up like their own little community down there. They're all learning to speak Spanish. Yeah, these are people selling their entire belongings in Canada and just jetting out because can you imagine people would rather risk leaving in January from Manitoba where it's super, super cold and try to go to the US, and people sell everything they've ever worked for in Canada to go to Mexico. This is the Canada that we're in, guys. Okay, I think I have more for you before we get to Quebec. Okay, yeah, here's another one. This is Globe and Mail this time. Okay, I was oh my gosh, I can't type when my phone's in front of me like this. Okay. Realized because of COVID-19 vaccine. Oh my God, even as I'm typing this, I can't believe what I'm typing. But that didn't stop me from getting a... So this is another article. This is pure propaganda. This is not truth. This is not the truth. Maybe it is the truth for this one person, but the fact that, like, how does the Globe and Mail, how does the mainstream media just find these people, right? How do they find them? This is what I find very curious, and I would like to know how they constantly find these people who happen to have gone through this, but happen to still want to get boosted. So I was hospitalized because of a COVID-19 vaccine side effect. But wait. I thought we weren't talking about side effects. I thought that didn't exist. Wait, what side effect? This Globe and Mail, right? It's like they're slowly starting to acknowledge the reality. But that didn't stop me from getting a booster. So of course, I haven't read the article, but I'm going to show it. There's going to be the word rare side effects, unlikely, like all of those kinds of words are going to be in the propaganda article here. And then it's going to say, oh, I still need to get the booster because this far outweighs the potential of dying from COVID. This is the BS they're going to feed us in here. Oh no, tell me I can't read it. Oh, I can't even read it. Okay, let me see if I can find an article that will allow us to go in. This is an opinion on the Globe and Mail. I should be able to find it. Oh, yeah, I won't even... Wait a second. How come I was able to read it on here? I was able to read it on my phone, guys, because I remember seeing this guy's name. There's a lawyer in Toronto. Okay, so hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's weird that it won't let me open it in here. On my phone, I was able to see a little bit more of the article. I remember that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, shoot. It's going to hide it. It's going to hide it on me, isn't it? Oh, yeah. It blocked it. Okay. So that's how I saw it on my phone, but they blocked it. By the way, I looked up this guy, Adam Goodman. He's a lawyer in Toronto. And this is so it's himself. And he got this. And yet he's publishing an article in here. So we have a lawyer now. Instead of standing up for the rights, he's a criminal lawyer, so I'll give him that. But instead of standing up for the freedoms and the rights and freedoms of Canada, the chart, he prefers here to go and promote the booster. So we have a lawyer promoting a medical a medical practice, a medical intervention. So I don't understand, like all the people on the left who keep screaming, "You're not a doctor. You can't talk about this." Well, he's not a doctor either, but yet he's right on here giving his medical advice in a way by promoting the booster. So, anyways, this whole thing is just corrupt. Okay, the vaccine passport in Quebec. Oh my gosh, we're getting to Quebec, guys. Whew. Oh, wait, no. Back up the bus here. Let's go to Saskatchewan first. This is another CBC article. 2 children with COVID-19. I'm going to show you some more propaganda here. So, Saskatchewan, 2 children with COVID. Oh yeah, if I spelt it right, it would maybe put it up right. COVID-19 as hospitalisation jump in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. There we go. Okay. Oh, they've changed it. Oh my gosh. They've updated the article. Yeah, last updated January. Oh, no, they've updated that. It's so weird. Okay. It's so weird because I have the article here. I have the picture here. It's the same picture, but I'm going to show you something. So now it says 3. The article says 3, but I'm going to show you on camera here. I'm not sure if you guys are going to see it. Hold on, let me get rid of this here because I'm going to show you this on camera. I don't know if you guys, is the light too bright? See, it says 2. I have 2 on my phone. I took an image. And now the article says 3. So again, like Saskatchewan, are you also frauding your numbers, like fudging your numbers over here? Did you happen to update it because there was a 3rd? Like, anyways, close contacts now allowed to leave isolation to get vaccinated, of course. But let's check it out. So as we go through the article, I want you to keep in mind the title, 3 children in ICU with COVID-19. So big, scary article, like scary. Oh my God, the children, think of the children. So let's see what's really going on here. Hospitalized continue to rise, showing 3 children with COVID-19 are intensive care. Okay, so the question, based on what we learned from Alberta and Ontario, were these 3 children admitted to the hospital because of COVID-19 or not? That's the question, right? So according to Saskatchewan, 2 of the children are being treated for COVID-related illnesses. 2 of the children are being treated for COVID-related illnesses, while the other is deemed incidental COVID infection. So yes, they fudged the numbers up here. 2 is COVID-related illnesses. So, I mean, what could that be? That could be trouble breathing. Oh, that must be COVID-related, right? But it turns out the kid has a severe allergy or something, right? While the other is deemed incidental COVID infection, meaning he went for something else and they tested him. So they lied. They lie in the title here to scare you to think, oh my God, COVID is so bad. Look at all 3 kids in there. 2 of them is very, very shady what they're in there for. And the 3rd one is not. They just happened to be there for something else and tested positive for COVID. So this is just more lies. And of course, they find the pediatricians that are going to go along with it, say, I'm worried about this. Well, as a pediatrician, you should be worried about literally everything relating to kids and illnesses. So you shouldn't specifically worry about this one. This is just ridiculous. But it's just absolutely insane. The extent they're going to keep lying to us as if we haven't figured it out by now. Okay, this is another fun one, Alberta. We're going to go back to Alberta for a quick minute. I'm jumping all over the place now, eh? Alberta had some really cool people there because they were. Did you see where the guy was showing? They allowed pictures of puppies instead of the vaccine passport. I don't know if you saw that. Restaurant, picture of puppies. Let me see if that'll pull it up. Okay, here we go. Dog photos not my God, I love this. Okay, dog photos not acceptable, COVID-19 vaccine proof. Alberta Health warns the restaurant. Like, do they hear themselves in Alberta Health? Like, okay, this is again another article that I'm blocked from, but do they think that the guy was seriously doing that? Like, obviously the guy was total trolling the vaccine passport concept. He was not doing it because he thought it was a legit practice. So, okay. So, Alberta Health Services orders restaurant closure after worker caught accepting dog photos over a vaccination record. Whoever this worker is, that man is a boss. That man is epic. I love it. Or a woman, whoever, worker, whoever you are. You're a hero. It appears that checking vaccination records have gone to dogs for one Alberta restaurant. They received complaints. Okay, who among you are the traitors? And this is something Jesus would say. Who among you is my traitor? Who's doing this? And I saw that there's some other restaurants are receiving. They're getting what do they call them when you go into a restaurant pretending to be a customer just to see if they're running things right? So the government has been sending people to these restaurants. This is across Canada, I'm sure, and they're reporting back. But so it could be one of those, but it could also be just a Karen. And I'm sorry if your name's Karen. I hope there's no Karen in the chat. But it's not. I don't dislike the word Karen. It's just that that's the now. Then you just have to accept it. It's a word. It's a you just have to accept it. So if there is a Karen who happened to go there and noticed that and then reported them, it's even worse. But anyways, okay. So they were not screening the patients instead, and if they showed a photo of their dog. Oh yeah, they sent in 2 test shoppers. So there was a report by some Karen complaint, and then Alberta Health promptly sent in 2 Gestapo investigators, and it turns out that it was true, and they issued a closure notice. So anyways, it sucks for the restaurant, but I love this restaurant. Everybody should go eat there if you're in Alberta. Support the Granary in Red Deer. Okay, let's see what else. I think we're going to get into Quebec now because I should lose my mind now. Okay, so Quebec. Oh, Lordy. Quebec has implemented so many crazy things in the last week. It's just been insane. So January 24th, which is 2 days ago, they started with the whole vaccine passports in Home Depot and Costco and Winners. So basically anywhere that was bigger than 1,500 square foot or square meters, something like that, they were now required to do that. So I'm going to talk about a couple of those things, but let's just look at the articles. Quebec vaccine passport. Okay. So this is it here. Walmart, Costco, Home Depot, Bureau en Gros. I don't know if you guys follow Viva Fry, but he did a art yesterday where he went to a mall in Place Alexis-Nyon in Montreal. It's a mall, and some of the stores you could go into, some he couldn't go into, and some where he wanted, like because he's vaccinated, so but he refused to show the vaccine passport, and people would say, no, you can't come in at all if you don't have the vaccine passport. So this is where I'm very, very upset with this, because what is happening here is if you work for one of these places and now you're the person who stands at the door and checks people's vaccine passport, I hate to tell you this, but you're now a dual worker. You work for Walmart or big box store, and you also now work for the government. I don't know if you realize this, but you now work for the government. So and this is what frustrates me the most is, if I was an employee at one of those stores, it is the easiest thing to refute, because you can say, look, I was hired to pack up your groceries in a bag and then restock the shelves at night. I am not here, nor do I have the the ability to check people's medical records. This is not what my job is. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. And this is how if they all did it, if everybody in every store just said, look, we're not going to do this whole thing would go nowhere. They could go nowhere with this vaccine passport. The only reason this is continuing, and this will continue, is because each store that has a person that works for the store that does that is now a de facto government employee going after people, enforcing governmental mandates, you are now part of the problem. And I don't want you to think, and I'm saying you as if it's you guys here, but I don't want you to think that we're always going to be angry. What I'm trying to say here for people is that we have a certain amount of time until we won't be able to accept this position anymore. And my recommendation to anybody who's in this position, in a restaurant, in a store, who's basically enforcing governmental mandates like a good little soldier, you don't even work for the government. You shouldn't be doing this. But now, if you keep doing this, when this whole narrative crumbles, the problem is we will now know you're either a very weak person, somebody who can't even stand up for basic human decency, or you're evil. You're okay with this and you're promoting this. So I get it. It's hard. Your boss is saying do this, but why not just say no? You know, this is one of the easiest ways to say, one of the easiest ways to fight tyranny is to just be brave in that moment and say no. And if you get fired, you find a new job. You cannot go work for the smaller stores until it comes to there and then deal with it. If you absolutely can't stand up for this now. But what's going to happen is we're all going to have to live together when this whole narrative collapses. And right now, if these people would start to realize what's going on and start standing up and saying, no, we're not going to do this anymore. This is draconian. This reminds us of what Stalin did. And then you call them a Nazi. You say, hey, if you make me check vaccine passports, you're a Nazi. I refuse to participate in segregation of society. Then if you don't do this, eventually we won't be able to accept you on our side. Like right now, if people start standing up like that, they can totally join us. Like the more the merrier at this point. But there will come a point you will not have so much of a grace period coming in and accepting that this is wrong. I'm telling you here today, this is wrong. It is wrong to ask for a vaccine passport, especially since now we know COVID is transmissible among the vaccinated, rendering the entire idea of a vaccine passport completely obsolete. Absolutely no reason to even have that to begin with anymore. But the fact that you, as a human, are enforcing segregation onto your fellow humans, this will not end well. And the sooner you realize this, and the sooner you stand up and say no, and join our side, and by our side, I just mean the side that likes freedom, that doesn't want to segregate people, the better it is for you. Because if you do it when this all falls apart already, the acceptance, you know, that we'll tolerate you. We won't necessarily accept you. Let me put it that way. We're going to tolerate you, but we'll know who you are. We'll know. We will know when this all crumbles who were the people who stood up and who were the people who didn't. And silence, as we get more and more into these tyranny measures, is less and less acceptable. It's really, really important that we all band together now. You guys saw the truckers thing. I don't want to get into that today because I made a whole video just about the truckers and the whole movement around that. So please go watch it. As soon as I'm done this, I'm going to edit it and post it on BitChute. So it should be there later tonight. But I will post a video on BitChute and Rumble. But the truckers are doing it. You know, this is what's really cool about the truckers is it's both the fact that like almost a lot of the truckers are vaccinated, double vaxxed even. And they're still standing up alongside with the unvaccinated truckers, but not only just for the truckers, but for everybody. So this is why this is such an awesome movement that started, and it's freaking out all of the politicians at this point. So anyways, so Quebec, Quebec, please recognize that if you, every time you ask for somebody's vaccine passport so they can enter a store that you don't own, you're just the worker there, your "I'm just the worker" excuse is not going to work, because you are siding with them. Every time you do this, you are siding with tyranny. And the longer you do it for, the less accepting we will be when you wake up. And you will wake up one day. You will wake up. You'll try to deny it. You'll try to deny you ever did that. You'll try to deny you participated. I did a whole video one time on the nurses of Nazi Germany who participated in all the killings of the children. Remember that, guys? The T4 program? I talked about how the nurses, when the whole thing collapsed, they all went around going, I never did that. I never participated in that. So there was a large amount of denial. Denial is, in fact, the last stage of genocide, by the way. And I did another video about genocide. The last stage of genocide is denial. When everything crumbles, all of the bad guys start to go, I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with it. That wasn't me. I wasn't even in that city. This is what they'll say. It'll be a pure denial. And you may deny it all you want. If you participated in this tyranny, just saying, it's my job, we will know who you are. And I'm trying to give you a big leeway, a lot of warning before you get to that point. I'm telling you, Quebec, if you work in a store like that, do not enforce these vax passports. Do not do it. Stand up, grow a backbone. Boys, get your balls, get the alphas out there and stop enforcing this, because we will not be looking kindly upon you, and nor will the future generations. It won't be good, guys, if you keep this up. So anyways, I tried to remain calm for the Quebec portion. I hope I did the but yes, if everybody could inspire themselves from the truckers and just try to do whatever you can now to fight this, because if we keep going down this path, it's the concentration camps that are next, guys. It's the concentration camps. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for me tonight. I will go and finish my video editing on the truckers, and I will see everyone in the next video next week. Thank you so much for participating in the chat. I love it when you guys do that. If you want to drop a comment in the video version of this too, I love it when you guys do that. So anyways, I'll see you all next week. Have a great week. Mwah. Kisses to all, and stay brave out there.